Trey, what's your weight right now, and how would you say you're handling it, and how does it compare to what you were at the end of last year?
Well, right now, got on the scale this morning actually, 245. I feel pretty good carrying it. Last season, I ended the season around 227. So I put on a lot of weight, but I feel great. I feel amazing. Just ready to go play.
And last year, the season's going on, and you're having to transition to tight end and get ready for opponents and game plans and all that stuff. Now you've had all this extra time to get used to playing tight end. How much different is it? How much better are you at tight end, do you think you were when you're having to basically learn it on the run last year?
Last year was definitely hard. Uh, Not being able to learn the little nuances of playing the position, of course, because you don't have enough time to sit and really coach details when you're getting ready for an opponent. But going through the summer and spring, part of the spring, just really learning how to block the ends, the footwork that you have to do, the hand placement, the striking, just all the little details that make you so much better than just being raw strength and just playing on athleticism. So
Maybe the last weight question. Do you remember last year coming in about this time? You said you were as heavy as you'd ever been, and you were 215 at that time.
Yep.
In the spring before that, you were 205. That's 40 pounds in like 18 months. Is that? I mean, that's a lot. How did you put all that weight on in such a short amount of time?
really just eating, stuff in my face. I mean, eating any and everything. I've said it before. Literally, I was just eating everything, drinking chocolate milk before bed, protein shakes, PB and J's, a lot of chicken and steak and potatoes. I love steak and potatoes, but just eating, and I mean, and also working out too. And I've transformed my body because it's not all bad weight. Like it's not bad weight at all. I feel good. So
That eating stuff doesn't work out for me for some reason. Nathan, this has been an interesting journey for you. I mean, got to be a dream come true to come in, get the scholarship, and now you're factoring in. Just talk about your journey and what it's been like for you.
Coming in, I knew it was going to be a challenge, as any walk-on has a mindset of, and you know you're going to come in and have to put in extra work, but it was just a lot of day in and day out. You got to do your job, but you also got to do extra, and you got to be consistent as well. And it wasn't just what I did; it was the resources around me, my teammates, tight end room, Coach Loggins too. He really guided me to take that next step and do things from a different point of view, do the detail things. But like I said, there's a support group around me that helped me out a lot, and that's what really lifted me up to take that next step.
This is for Nathan. Dal was in here earlier, and he said he doesn't like making comparisons, but I've heard some other people on the team compare you to Blake Kern.
Yes, sir.
Is it a fair comparison? And in what ways are you guys similar and different?
Kern's awesome. He was a guy that I was always around, and he had that same path to me as starting as a walk-on. So just learning from him was something that I really tried to do. And I'd say we have very similar traits as far as inline blocking, but we also, from a mindset, I tried to pick his brain when he was here because he went through the same stuff that I did, and whatever I could take from him, I did because he was a huge help. And that was something that I really tried to take advantage of that past year because he had a lot of success and he did a lot of great things here too as well.
I don't think you've ever been targeted in a game, but you seem like you've got pretty good hands from what we see in practice. How much do you think you can factor in as a receiver?
I think whenever my number's called, I'm gonna do my best to produce for the team, and I think Coach Loggins has prepared us to take advantage of the opportunities that we have. So if my number's called, I'm gonna do my best to put our team in the best possibility to win.
Hudson, we've seen quite a few different faces in the tight end room over the last few years. You've been kind of like the one guy, steady force. Well, how would you say the tight end room looks now compared to the last several years?
I mean, in all honesty, I think we have the most talented tight end room that we've had in a very long time. I mean, you got us three, and you also have Tyrus Washington. We have a lot of other guys on our tight end that, factor in and do well. But I mean, we have a good group of core guys. I mean, that we can get in there and we can run a lot of different personnels out of it. So I'd say that we have probably the most talented tight end room that we've had in a very long time.
Nathan, you think you began your career at Illinois State? Is that right?
Yes,
Could you
sir.
kind of give us some insight on there, and then how you made your way to Fayetteville?
Started there, was at scholarship, and went through kind of a little journey. I wanted to play at the best level, and when I came to Arkansas, it reminded me of home the most. So when I got here, things kind of fell in place for me, and it was a bit of a transition. You know, you have guys at that level that are good, but when you get to this level, it's everyone, and especially the interior guys, those front seven, that you kind of realize like, hey, I gotta move those guys as well. So you kind of got to find that balance of performing at a high level all the time, especially down here because there's a lot of depth too. That was the thing I had to adjust to well. Up and down, 1 to 3s, it's going to be a battle, and you have to battle every day to prove yourself.
This is for all three of you, really. I've talked to recruits about Dow, how he is as a recruiter and stuff, but you guys were all here when he came here. Talk about how he is as a coach, playing for him out there and learning from him on the field.
I mean, from where he's been in the NFL for most of his life, and he has so much experience and so much knowledge and wisdom when it comes to just all around being just a good player. That he's come in our room and he has been such a useful resource for us in all things. I'd say that our tight end room has become extremely talented, you know, like I said earlier, because of Coach Loggins. You know, we all have the talent. It's just he has given us a better work ethic, and he's given us a better way of, you know, playing tight end, being a blocking tight end on top of being a receiving tight end and all that. So.
Coach Loggins, it's funny because he'll point out stuff that I never really realized about football. He'll point out because he has 17 years or so experience in the NFL, and he'll say stuff in meetings where I'm like, I don't know why I never noticed this, but it's those little details that he points out that really makes you think during a play. It's like squeeze my knees, keep my elbows in. These little details that he provides us that show up on tape. So I think just taking those little details from the experience he has is what is going to what has elevated our tight end room.
Well, since y'all talked about football, I'm going to talk about some other stuff. But I think, like, the biggest thing, he's a really great guy, man. Like, if you call him, he'll answer the phone. It doesn't matter what time it is. And if he doesn't answer the phone, he'll text you and be like, what's up? And, I mean, you can talk to him about literally anything. Pick his brain about just life in general, and he'll give you some great knowledge. He's just a well-rounded guy, loves his room, loves his players, treats them all the same, doesn't really have favorites. He just loves all his guys, and I really appreciate him.
If I go along that, I think he does a great job. I don't know what they think of finding that balance between football and just relationships. He makes you want to come into the meeting room and want to come in and enjoy those meetings. So,
yeah, Hudson. I guess just 3 days. Just how has it gone for you, and what did you come into camp wanting to accomplish or get done to take the next step?
Yeah, you know, that first day, you know, I was struggling a lot with some breathing problems. You know, I have asthma, and I was struggling to breathe, and so that was kind of a challenge. But, you know, these past 2 days, you know, I've come out and I've been able to finish practices and been able to do good. But I think coming into camp, I think one of my main things is I wanted to be a team player, and I want to do whatever I could, you know, whether that's playing tight end, you know, being a special teams player or being both. I want to do whatever I can to help the team because I'm an Arkansas guy. You know, I've been here. I've lived in Arkansas for, 12, 15 years. I'm not originally from here, but my whole family's from here. So, you know, I love the state. I love the Razorbacks. I've loved them my whole life. And so, I mean, I want to do whatever I can to help us win a championship.
Nathan, when you decided you wanted to, move up a level, not saying not good ball at Illinois State, but I mean, it's a different from 1AA to 1A. Who all did you consider, and why did you ultimately pick Arkansas?
When I was going through that process, it was a little different because it wasn't like I was being recruited. I kind of had to reach out. I was going to K-State, staying home somewhere in Missouri, or I was looking to visit in Memphis. But when I came to Arkansas, like I said, it was it was reminding me of home. I kind of saw something hidden here that I didn't really think a lot of people saw. I thought it was a hidden gem, and just the pride of Arkansas has, like, all they have here is a hog is what I know. Looking outside in, I started to realize if I can go somewhere where everyone's going to support you all the time, it's somewhere I'm going to be, because they're going to lift you up all the time. They're going to want to make you reach the most potential you have.
And then Hudson, you played tight end. Like when was the first year? How old were you when you started playing tight end?
Gosh, you know, I didn't play tight end whenever I was in high school. So I think when I came in 2019, well, I never was like a real tight end. I mean, I'd say my first time playing true tight end was when I came here in summer of 2019, which seems like forever ago now. Now that, you know, COVID and everything's happened, it just feels like it's been 10 years.
As a guy who's, you obviously have more tight end reps than Trey does. So how do you think he's done? I mean, this may be hard because you're sitting next to him, but
No,
how would you say he's done in his evolution from wide
Be
receiver?
brutally
to tight end?
honest.
No. Trey has done a fantastic job of moving to tight end. You know, a lot of guys can move positions and take it, you know, like, you know, the coaches don't want them to do well. You know, the coaches are, you know, trying to push them out or anything, but Trey has handled it very well. He's come in our room and he's been a great leader. He's put on the weight, and not only, you know, the weight, but he's put on good weight, and he looks good. He looks fast. He looks faster, honestly. He's been playing good ball, blocking well. You know, that's a hard thing coming to tight end, you know, from receiver, is blocking in line. I mean, you're blocking 300 pounders. But Trey's done a good job. And I just want to say Bax has done a good, you know, Bax has been with me since I've been here. And seeing him grow and seeing him develop, I mean, these two guys have been helping lead our room, and it's been awesome to see their growth and see their development, and they've been doing a fantastic job.
Nathan, were you at Illinois State for 1 year? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Did you know John Ridgway at all?
I did.
How well?
He was actually on my official visit, I met him, but he's the same person he is when he was down here. That big personality, just, I mean, had that same kind of playing style, just being an animal in the trenches, and it was the same person, like I said, as he was up there as he was down here.
You see him have the type of year that he had last year, going from there to here, like you've done. Is there anything you can take away from that helps you in your own personal preparation?
I think he took the most of the opportunity he had, which is a mindset that I think anyone has to have playing football. So I'd say, like I said, making the most of the opportunity he had. He was here for 1 year and he got drafted. So just making the most of the opportunity I have and giving it everything I have when I get that opportunity.
I had a question, Trey. We were sorry to hear about your car accident during spring break. How scary was that thing? I mean, is it something you don't like to talk about, or?
No, I mean, no, it was pretty bad. I ain't gonna lie, but I mean, we made it out. No one was hurt in the car, so that's all you can really ask for. I was just blessed that I only had like a concussion and a little scratch on my forehead, so that was it.
Where are you at?
Oh, Little Rock.
Any of you guys that might have some insight, just thoughts on Ty Washington, and kid looks like he's physically impressive already for a young guy.
That boy is gonna be a problem.
He's going to be good. He's definitely a hidden gem coming from Georgia. I don't know how highly recruited he was out of high school, but I think we got a really good tight end for the next couple of years. He's going to be a problem for the SEC, for sure.
One thing he does well is ask questions.
Yeah.
He's always asking what he can do to get better. And if he continues to do that, especially as a freshman, the ceiling's high for him.
Yeah, and I've kind of just tried to, take him under my wing. Actually, he's staying at my house right now, just because we're in camp, and I just want to talk to him and really try to help him through this whole thing. Because I mean, camp is not easy. It's not for the weak-minded. It's a grind, and he's going to hit a wall eventually. And I just want to be there to help him get through it, and teach him more about the ball, help him with signals, help him with plays. Just try to make him the best he can, because he can definitely help this team.
Nathan, you're on scholarship at Illinois State. You come here as a walk-on. How big a deal was it to get a scholarship at an SEC school?
It was awesome. It was a kind of a surreal moment. Just kind of trying to figure out my future, and things kind of fell in place. And to get a scholarship here, especially at a place where a guy like Brandon Burlesworth set that standard of walking on, is something huge. So to get that, like I said, is a surreal moment, and it was an honor to do it, and very thankful for the opportunity I have.
Remember, did Sam call you in, or do you remember what was the like? How did it happen?
It was a end of spring meeting, and it was brought it up just during the meeting, and I went along with it, and it was like I said, it's a very surreal moment. It was one of those moments where you just keep smiling.
Partners at BetOnline continue to be the #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest odds, news, and sports developments, including this year's Wimbledon finals, Major League Baseball, the latest fighting news, and even next season's early NFL futures. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BLEAV. That's BLEAV to get the bonus and get into the action. Bet online, where the game starts.